Hello, and welcome to episode 108 of Ready to Mosh. I'm Kev P, and alongside me is the mould to my wine. It's Gem G.
You don't like mulled wine?
Yeah, and? Doesn't have anything to do with the intro.
Okay, fair enough.
My personal choice of drink isn't necessarily connected.
Okay, that's fine then. You're just referring to me as mulled and you don't like anything mulled.
No, but I like wine.
You like mull of Kintyre?
Yeah.
And that's where it ends.
Pretty much, yeah.
Anyway, Merry Moshcast.
Yes.
Merry
it
Moshcast.
Is. Merry Moshcast.
Merry
Yeah.
Moshmas.
It's not Moshmas yet.
Yeah.
This is a Christmas Day episode, yeah.
That's true. Last year we did Moshmas for the whole of December though.
Oh, did we?
Anyway, it's a beer cast.
Yeah, if you can't tell already.
Or a wine cast because we're sophisticated.
Yeah, so if you hear lots of slurping, clinking of glasses, we're drinking.
Yeah, because we've not actually done a beer cast for a while.
A long time, yeah.
I think we've done less beer casts this whole year than we did in our 6 months of existence last year.
Yeah, we're recovering alcoholics.
I can't even remember. I feel like we've done one this year. We did a birthday episode, didn't we? That was
I'll be honest, I can't remember what that was like.
I'm sure we had a little drinky for that. And that's about it for this year.
Okay.
On pod, at least.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's our review of the year. Stroke Christmas party for the podcast. Why are you looking at me? Like
okay, well, I'm looking. Sorry.
You did the intro. You're leading proceedings.
Am I?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first off, we're going to look at our Spotify Wrapped, aren't we? But it's for the podcast, and not our personal ones.
We're going to look at our personal ones as well, though.
Yeah, no, we're looking at this first, though.
I know.
Yeah. So it's the Ready to Mosh Spotify Wrapped first, which just gives us a few insights into what people have been listening to, I think.
Who you all are, who are hearing this.
Yeah, you strange people.
So first up then, our top episode of this year was episode 69.
69, dude, to quote Bill and Ted.
Woo woo. And that was our second part of Download review, because we did a 3-part review this year of Download, and it was our RIP campaign.
Yeah.
So thank you all for listening to that.
But I would like to know why was number 2 above number 1?
Because people are probably interested in RIP, was my take on that. In particular, there's a lot of Download reviews out there, but not as many.
Specifically about RIP camping, isn't it? Yeah.
So hopefully that was useful for people who listened to it. If you're thinking of RIP,
you got some good tips. Are we going to do one next year?
What?
Well, we're in RIP again. We're in RIP again next year, but will we do a review? Because nothing really changes that much.
I don't know. It might do.
Yeah, I suppose we'll see.
We'll discuss it. I am sure it will come up at some point. We might do a little preview as well in case people are new to RIP again and
that's true.
All of that. And obviously we've got the vlog to go alongside it with some visuals you can see.
Mm-hmm. Streamed 213% more than the average episode. But again, like you said, download content always does as well.
It does. So 90% of your listening discovered us this year. So thank you for finding us. I think we can say to that.
Yeah, tell us how.
Yeah.
I don't know. And 7% of those new listeners came in through Mangata Festival, which was episode 74.
That's really good, because it was a really good festival then.
It was a really good festival, very small.
Very small, but we're glad people found us from it.
And I imagine most of them are probably local to us then. The Mangata being, 15 miles away?
Yeah, so potentially local listeners. Hello. And over this year, we have been streamed in 17 countries, which blows my little tiny mind in itself. But obviously the UK was top one with 96% of people streaming from the UK. So I guess
kind of expect that.
We would expect that, yeah. But cool that we're in lots of other places as well. We're going global.
Top 3 new listeners are Germany at number 3.
Interesting.
Ireland at number 2. And UK at number 1. I mean, UK and Ireland kind of make sense. And I suppose Germany, I can kind of see that. You've got a lot of people who are British that live in Germany.
And a lot of metal in Germany.
And a hell of a lot of metal in Germany.
Yeah. So as we said, we have grown a lot over the last year. In terms of listeners, we have 200. 200. I'm sounding proper local. 217% more listeners than last year. And 400% more streams this year, which is a lot. 313% more followers. And we've created 70% more content for y'all. But given that last year we weren't a full year, I guess that kind of is.
Yeah, that's irrelevant.
Just a natural thing. Yes, thank you very much for all the listens, streams and follows.
And for everybody listening, we are now a top 10 podcast for 180 people.
I can't even believe 180 people listen to us. Never mind, I was in the top 10.
Well, there you go.
And we're a top 5 for 140 listeners.
Mm-hmm.
Again.
Sorry, I'm drinking wine.
Cheers to that.
And for 52 people, we're your number 1 podcast. So well done, you 52 people. Tell us who you are. I want to know.
Yeah. Please tell us. We'd love to say hello. So yeah, we just wanted to start our review of the year by saying thank you to everybody who's listening to us. Thank you to all the new listeners that have come to us this year and the old school ones that have been with us from the beginning. If anyone ever has, I don't know, but...
Somebody must have done, yeah.
I'm sure. But yeah, thank you.
I also want to say thank you to that one guy in the Philippines that listened to 28 episodes in a row.
Yeah.
But didn't actually start from the first one. It was somewhere random that
it
they started.
Was, yeah. But big shout out to you, dude, or dudette, or non-binary dudette. Whoever you are, thank you.
Also, thank you to everybody that spoke to us at Bloodstock.
Yeah, and other places. I think there's been a couple.
Yeah, there's been a few.
Yeah, so anyone who stopped us and said hello, thank you. We're not used to that. Really.
But it's nice, yeah.
It's nice, yeah.
It's really nice.
We normally just hide in a corner when we go anywhere, really, don't we? So we don't.
Yeah.
We're not in your face going, look at us, we're ready to mosh. But yeah, if you've spotted us and said hello, thank you.
Also want to say a big thank you to Costa Nostra PR this year for obviously helping us with getting media passes for Bloodstock and sorting out the interview with Adam this year.
Yeah. Shout out to Dan at DC Sound Attack for inviting us to Uprising, which was our first press event ever.
It was, yeah.
And set the year off on a high in terms of festivals for us.
It did. And also all the bands that he sorted out for us to interview at Bloodstock.
Yeah.
Thank you to all of the bands and artists that have been on podcasts this year.
Yeah, we've not counted them up, but we'll probably do a social media post just confirming how many that's been, because it's been way more than we ever expected, I think.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. And it's been great to have so many people on.
And yeah, that's generally the podcast year in review, I would say. And I think we're going to go on to a little bit about our own kind of music year in review and other stuff. And I think we're just going to waffle on.
We are just going to waffle, yeah.
It's a waffly one.
We're drinking. What do you expect?
Yeah, we were going to talk about our own Spotify Wrapped because we had a quick look at our own, but we've not spoke to each other about it yet. And it came out about 3 weeks ago.
Oh, at least. Yeah.
So we were going to have a quick look at that, weren't we? Because last year I think we did it live, but we just didn't have time this year. Funny, isn't it? We thought we got to October, end of Alt Fest. That was kind of last festival, and we thought we'd have kind of a quiet end to the year. But
do you remember talking to each other and going, what are we going to talk about over the next few kind of weeks? And it's like, oh, actually, from out of nowhere, it's like we had a lot of band interviews.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of just gone a bit crazy.
A couple of gigs. We thought we'd have a slow end to the year, but it's been just as busy, really. So Wrapped on Spotify. Apologies if you can hear any phone tapping.
That'll be you with your nails. It won't be me. And you've got your volume on as well. Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's off. It's actually a thing now. A lot of people on the Tinterweb creators tap things, don't they, on purpose?
Really?
Yeah, it's really irritating. Anyway, where have you got to on yours?
So, how many songs did you play?
How many songs did I play? Oh, I don't know. Here we go. I had 3,550 songs played in 2023.
I played 2,433. So you listened to a lot more songs than me.
I did, didn't I? Interesting in itself.
What was your top song?
Well, I wonder.
Which Ghost song was your top song?
The top Ghost song for me this year was Jesus, He Knows Me. What was yours?
Yeah. So my top song this year was by Paradise Lost.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was Ember's Fire.
And how many times did you listen to it?
I don't know, because I can't find it anymore.
Oh.
The fuck is it?
I don't know.
I don't either. I don't know what is happening.
Mine's gone on now for my top 5 songs.
Okay. Right, hang on, this is not going well, so that bit.
Oh, he didn't tell you yours. Mine did tell me mine.
No, well, he did tell me originally that it was Ember's Fire by Paradise Lost.
Okay, so
there we go.
So your top 5.
My top 5 are
Hold on, mine's...
Yours is... Oh, God, Christ, this is going well.
Do bear with. I hope you're all enjoying a beverage while you're listening to this. You'll probably need it too. My top 5, pause. Hold it.
Well, you can just press the pause button.
Yeah, that's what I've done. Obviously, Jesus, He Knows Me by Ghost. In at number 2, which was my last year's number 1, was Spillways by Ghost.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Number 3 was Stay by Ghost.
Oh, hang on. I'll try to pour wine with what's got a top on it.
Doesn't work, does it?
Not very well, no. Oh.
If we get through this episode without a spillage, it'll be a Christmas miracle. So yeah, my top 3 were all Ghost, so yeah, no. Some things change, but some things don't. Do you want to know my number 4, or do you want to do your top 3 first?
No, because I was going to go the other way around.
Oh,
but
okay.
yeah, you keep going with yours.
My number 4 song was Motionless in White, Werewolf.
Interesting choice.
And my number 5 song was The Dirt I'm Buried In by Avatar. So, yeah, there's some kind of men in masks or makeup, gothy, industrially spooky
sound going
on there. You can tell my vibe.
Mine is interesting.
Okay.
I'm going to actually go the reverse order to what you went
Okay,
in.
well, we know what your number 1 is, so do you 5 to 2?
So 5 to 2. Well, okay. Number 5, No Hope in Sight, Paradise Lost.
Yeah.
Number 4, Darker Thoughts, Paradise Lost. Number 3, Take a Long Hard Look by Sulphur. It's very old.
Yeah.
It must be...
Most of yours, it's quite old.
It must be kind of like 30-something years old, that. Number 2, The Dirt I'm Buried In by Avatar.
Oh, we've got a snap.
And then number 1 was obviously Ember's Fire that I'd already said by Paradise Lost.
Oh, I've just happened to close my wrap down. That's helpful, isn't it?
Very helpful.
So yeah, that was my top songs.
How many minutes did you listen to, though?
37,034.
Wow, that is even more than me. Last year, I destroyed you in the listening times, yeah. 29,515 minutes.
25 days full stop. I peaked on the 11th of July with 412 minutes.
I see 351 for me on the 14th of March.
Wow. What did I do on the 11th of July? I don't know.
What did we do? Yeah. 11th of July or the 14th of March, what made that so different?
I don't know, but how many artists did you listen to this year?
1,153.
Wow, I had 918.
Yes.
So I've listened to more songs, but you've listened to more variety.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, tail there.
But one came out on top. Any guesses?
Is it Ghost?
Oh, it might be. Yes, I indeed did spend 4,428 minutes with Ghost, and I am a top 0.5% fan. So I did indeed get a message from Sister Imperator.
Did you? So I have an issue with mine.
Oh, you've got an issue.
I've got an issue with everything, but
there's a thing.
But my main issue is my top artist is Placebo.
Well, that's interesting.
But there's a very good reason for this.
Is it when we did our placebo special episode?
Well, yeah. So it's a 2-part thing. So I'm a top 3% fan of Placebo and spent 257 minutes listening to them. However, we did a Placebo special where I went through every single Placebo album, which is probably part of it.
So did I.
But obviously, yeah, but your Ghost addiction's clearly a lot worse than your Placebo addiction.
Well, yeah.
The other one is that in the download playlists, because I've been listening to Placebo for 30-odd years, it must be about 30 years now, what I generally tend to do is when I look through a playlist for festivals that we go to, I will add in any songs that I have by any artists that are there. That's my first port of call. And then what I will do is I will start listening to each of the bands and going, actually, I like that one, like that one, like that one. Obviously, if it's a duplicate, I won't add it. And then I'll just do, in the build up to download, I'll do a shuffle. But because I've been listening to Placebo for so long and know each album ever so well, all it was doing was playing Placebo, just constantly playing Placebo. So it's like skip, skip, skip. But so that's kind of part of the reason it's in my top.
I kind of know what you mean. And obviously I think Ghost would have been in mine anyway. But if I ever listen to any new album that came out, and then you get to the end of it and on Spotify, it then goes into, if you've not got that album on loop, it goes into For You mode.
Yeah.
And every fucking time it brought up Ghost.
Yeah.
So, I'd listen to the whole Avatar album and then it would follow it with a Ghost track. I listened to the whole Creeper album, it would bring up a Ghost.
Yeah.
So,
It's the same issue.
Anyway, I had something special with my top artists, and here's how I spent my time with them. My peak listening ghost month was May, so that'll be download
okay.
prep.
So mine's actually given me... Mine's different to yours.
Okay.
So mine's given me my top song.
Mine did that before, though, Matt.
Oh, right, okay. I can't remember.
Oh, your top song was Paradise Lost, but that's given you your top placebo song, but my top artist and my top song were the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's the same for me, because my top artist was Placebo. And...
Yeah, but your top song was Paradise Lost.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
But apparently I couldn't get enough of Every You, Every Me, which is one of my favourite Placebo songs.
Yeah, fair enough.
So where are you at? So
I'm at my peak ghost listening month being May. I was obviously getting excited for download. And also, Jesus, He Knows Me was released in
Mine
April,
was March, and it was Placebo.
which I think is when we did our special.
Yeah, so that kind of makes sense. Number 2?
My number 2 artist is Creeper. And unsurprisingly, my peak listening month was November, which was when I saw them at Rock City. And that was kind of preceding Sang Before being released.
Mine is Alien Weaponry, and it's February, which is when we saw them.
Makes sense. Number 3 for me is Avatar, and unsurprisingly, we saw them in February, which is my peak month, and their album was released in February.
Mine is Alexis on Fire, and it's June.
Oh, that's weird. I wouldn't have expected that.
I love them.
I know, but I just wouldn't have expected them to rank that highly amongst you.
What, based on the normal stuff I listen to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 4 for me is Motionless in White, but weirdly, my peak listening month was March for them.
Which was about 3 months before download.
Yeah.
So,
I don't...
Unless that was when they were announced.
I thought they were announced from the start. I don't know. Might have been.
I was just thinking it could be a poster tie-in.
That
could be what it is.
Oh, I just had a phase. I don't know.
Mine was Paradise Lost, and that was in April. Which again ties into
If you'd have asked me to
Uprising.
guess what month, I would have said April. And my number 5, which I'm very surprised about, I'm not quite convinced is correct, is Maneskin, January, which is not when their album was released. So I don't remember listening to a lot of Maneskin in January.
Well, that is odd, yeah.
I don't know.
Mine is, they're always in there, 9 Inch Nails.
That's not a shock.
In March.
You had a phase. A real phase, a little...
It's never a phase. It's an addiction, it's an obsession, it's a love. That's what my relationship is with Nin.
What's next then? So is it just top 5 artists?
So they're the top 5 artists we listen to, yeah.
Fair do. And then I got my little... Oh, did you get You got a message as well?
I did.
Yeah, I got my sister and Pear a message. You get one from Brian?
I didn't even know that.
Okay.
Someone's a bit jealous.
Yeah, I got a playlist as well.
Why has Brian got a mustache, though?
Because he does these
wrong.
days.
It's just wrong.
I know it's wrong, but it's what he does these days.
He should always look 12, and he always will.
Yeah. Finally, top genre for me is alternative metal.
Sorry, I've just locked my phone.
Of course you have.
Well.
You got to go through the whole thing again now.
Yeah, but you can just tap it, can't you? Yeah. So before you know it, we'll be there. If I can find it.
It's there.
Where?
There. Top genre.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Top genre is rock.
Rock. So that was what we've been listening to mostly, behind the scenes, I guess.
Yeah.
According to Spotify.
According to Spotify, which is not always true.
Because I don't believe the Maneskin bit. Everything else I can believe, but I'm not sure about that.
And I feel like the placebo was actually overinflated.
Anywho, let's go on to other things.
Album of the year.
Oh, gosh. You've thrown that one on me. Are we doing album of the year and EP of the year, or just album of the year? Because I've got a
Shit, I didn't even think about EPs. So I'm going albums... But there is so many EPs I've listened to that have been really good this year.
I know, same.
And I feel like I might have to go and look at all the EPs I've listened to and decide.
I've got 5. I've got a top 5 albums of the year.
Yeah, okay. So tell me what your top 5 albums are.
They're not in any particular order.
Mine are the same. I've actually got 5 as well.
Actually, I've got 6 because I kind of forgot about one. And I've got a late runner that's included in there.
Okay. Well, I've got 5, so let's see kind of like how they kind of tie up. So tell me what's on your list.
Avatar.
Yeah. Dance Devil Dance.
Yes, that was
that
absolutely
is
awesome.
Unbelievable album.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And one that I kind of forgot about for some weird reason was the Those Damn Crows album, which was released on the same day as Avatar, and we did a double review of them.
Do you know what? I forgot all about
So
that.
had I, because it was way back in February and we're in December.
Shit.
And
Yeah. No, that was good as well.
Yeah.
That is in there.
Yeah. I've also got Therapy.
Yeah, I've got that. Hard
Because
Cold Fire.
That was one of their best albums
It's the best
since Trouble Gun, which we said at the time.
We said that at the time, and Trouble Gun was 94.
I think so, yeah.
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 So it's like 30 years.
Yeah.
It was such a good album.
Exactly. And to say that that one was up there, as we said in the review,
Yeah.
it's saying a lot.
Hell of
really.
a lot, yeah.
One that you won't have in yours is Creeper,
Yeah, because it was fucking terrible.
in your opinion.
Yeah.
But as I said to you, we didn't do a full review on it, but I kind of just gave some initial general kind of thoughts as part of the live review of Creeper.
Yeah.
But I hadn't had an album on loop, repeat, whatever, that much since Impera last year.
Okay.
So, yeah, that was up there for me. And it was also, was it Metal Hammer's #1 album of the year? And I think it was Kerrang's #2 or something like that.
Who gives a fuck about
Which-
Kerrang and metal?
I know, but it's good that they're getting that recognition, though, is what I mean.
Yeah.
It would be so easy for a lot of people to just go, oh, yeah, Metallica's new album was #1, but they didn't. So, do you know what I mean? I think it's great that Creeper's a band that I've seen grow are getting that recognition now, whether you like it or not.
Yeah. It's like, I don't like Creeper, but at least they're being recognised for the effort. They've been around a long time.
Exactly. And that album
Yeah.
is just the best thing they have ever done by a long way. And their other stuff's great, so...
I mean, there were a couple of tracks on there even I didn't mind. I thought they were okay. Yeah.
Obviously Skindred.
Was the first album I'd wrote down.
Smile.
Yeah. You bought me the vinyl.
I did, because it was released on your birthday, which I think
was-
makes an album
yeah.
special. I don't think I've ever had a cool album released on my birthday. It's Christmas syndrome.
Yeah, it was
isn't
released
it?
on my birthday, and I've listened to that so many times. It's so good. And it is the best Skindred album they've ever released.
Yeah, definitely. A late runner for me that I kind of listened to it when it was first released and I've just got back into it again was Green Lung.
I meant to add in Green Lung because the new Green Lung album is amazing.
It's awesome. And I think with them being on the kind of the Bloodstock lineup, and I think they've just toured as well, and I've seen people going to see them, and I'm like, yeah, I need to listen to that again. So that is also up there for me this year.
There's a couple you've not mentioned that are big on my list.
I'm not surprised because I'm very forgetful.
Anchor Lane.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Call This a Reality.
That was good.
That was fucking amazing. And Empire State Bastard.
Yes.
Who I know I don't know if I've said it on the podcast or not, but sorry, I'm pouring a huge glass of wine right now. Other than the live reviews, I don't know if I said it on the podcast, but they've just blown me away this year.
Which still blows my mind that they blow you away, just because even though it's not Biffy, it's still related to, and you hate Biffy.
But I like Mongol Horde.
That's true. You don't like Frank Turner.
Yeah. I love what Frank Turner stands for and all of his kind of like personal opinions and everything, but the music he does with the Sleeping Souls and his solo stuff, I'm not a fan of. Same as Biffy Clyro, I'm not a fan of.
To be fair, though, it always comes down to the fact that I love Chris Cornell's solo stuff and audience
Exactly,
but
yeah.
I just don't like Soundgarden.
You don't. Although you've seen Soundgarden and you said they were really good.
Yeah, and I will forever be grateful that I saw him live as well.
Yeah.
So, as will you, obviously.
As will I, yeah, because I'm a big Soundgarden fan as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, Empire State Bastard, State of Heresy, one of the best albums I've listened to this year.
It's a good one.
And what I love about it is, if you like Biffy Clyro, it's not for you. Because it's not, you're probably going to think it's too heavy. If you like the stuff Dave Lombardo's done, like Slayer, it's not for you. Well, I say it's not for you, I love Slayer too, but it's potentially too soft for people that are massive Slayer fans. And it's that middle ground.
Yeah, well, I love Biffy and I love Slayer, so I've got to love it, haven't I?
Yeah, you're going to love it. Yeah, like, I'm a Slayer fan, not a Biffy fan, but I love this.
In terms of EP2 that I just wrote down off the top of my head, obviously Ghost Phantomine, which I know you hated, but I just feel like
it was shit.
Covering my favourite 80s tracks, some of, and...
The 80s were just shit for music.
Anyway, I'm not going to dwell on that one, but you'll know I love it.
Yeah.
Anywho. Lake Malice finally releasing their EP as well, which a lot of it we'd heard already because they released as singles, but it was
Yes.
just great to see them actually release it as an EP.
Finally get that out, yeah.
So yeah, that was awesome.
I like they've been building to that, though.
Yeah.
They've not just rushed it, they've built to it.
Yes, definitely. And there's probably loads more that we've forgotten about, so we'll post probably separately.
Yeah, do you know what? I think we need to do a little thing about, well, even if it's a 15-minute episode, about all the EPs we've listened to that we actually really like this year.
Yeah. Either a recording or we'll just do it on our socials or something like that, just to give another shout out.
One off the top of my head is the Vast Slug EP.
Oh, God, yeah.
Who were our previous guests.
Should be in the last episode if we're accounting for this correctly.
Yeah.
What does that even mean, if we're planning this correctly?
Yeah, we are planning this correctly. And yes, they were the last guests. But I love their cover of Adidas.
Yeah.
That is the best cover of Adidas. And they thought exactly the same thing as me, where it's like, was Adidas always that slow? Was it really that? And I've listened to Adidas since, and it is really that slow. But I'd forgotten how slow it was.
Oh, another album actually I've just thought of randomly. Hot Milk as well. That was awesome. I really like that.
I will have to say I'm not a Hot Milk fan. That's definitely more you than me.
Yeah, I just loved that album, and they were great live at Download. So yeah, little mention for that one.
Okay. Single of the year, there are so many singles this year that I absolutely love. Like anything that Avatar did, anything that Skindred, pretty much anything off the albums we've already said.
Yeah.
Are all up there for single of the year. I genuinely couldn't pick one out.
I have to say I haven't really prepared for this segment.
I thought I had, and then I've just looked at my notes and there's only one there. But then now I'm thinking about it, actually there is a lot.
Yeah.
But The Dirt I'm Buried In is probably the single I listen to the most.
It probably is me in terms of a single. We listened to it a lot, didn't
Hell of a lot. Do you remember that weekend away in York with everybody?
I was just going to say, we even got non-metal loving people listening to that song.
And then sending us videos of them listening to it.
Exactly. So, yeah, we're influencers now.
Yeah, that was amazing. Just watch a very close friend singing, dancing around to The Dirt I'm Buried In because she absolutely adored it.
Yeah.
And the person we're talking about is so far removed from the metal scene, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But that was a real highlight for me. It's like
definitely.
She's just listened to this and gone, this is fucking great. I love this.
I love this song.
I love this.
Yeah. There's got to be up there, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think, Skindred Give Me That Boom as a single.
I was going to say exactly the same again. All Set Phases to Stop.
That as well. Pretty much everything they released off that album was awesome.
I think everything off all of the albums as well, they were all strong singles. There was no weak. Occasionally when you listen to a single from an album, you go, it was all right. You should have probably used track 7, though, instead of track 5.
Yeah.
But I think every album we talked about, it's like you could see why they were used as singles.
Yeah, I could say the same about Creeper, to be honest, like Cry to Heaven that they released.
Was that the one that I really like? Yeah.
That was the first single.
That is the single for me to make me want to listen to Creeper.
Yeah.
So that is a great choice. Gig of the year.
Are we talking just gigs or festivals included?
I think we talk gigs. And I'll be honest, I can't remember which gigs we went to this year because my memory is terrible and we've been to a lot.
It's a good job that I exist here then.
Yes.
Circumstance. So one of mine was definitely Gajira at Nottingham Arena. And I think that was partly the support that they had. Employed to Serve and Alien Weaponry were fucking awesome as well. But Gajira were just amazing. And I think it helped the seats that we had. Because
do you know what? That was...
We had a perfect view of the stage. We had a whole row to ourselves, which helped.
That's a dream.
But just the sound and everything was perfect for that.
And I remember at the time saying to you, well, we said it on the review actually, that we were sat the opposite side to where we were for Skindred, Napalm Death, and I can't remember who the Volbeat. We were sat the opposite side, but we were about 7 or 8 rows down. But the sound quality was just so much different.
Yeah.
So it was crystal clear. And that was amazing.
Yeah, I don't normally love arena shows a lot, but...
I hate arena shows.
But that
was incredible.
Yeah. So that's got to be up there. Avatar at Rock City, obviously, because that was just amazing.
Shit, yeah. I got high-fived.
You did, yeah.
Yes, that is up there for me.
And seeing Mastiff play Rock City was awesome because they are awesome. And Vale of May were cool there as a support band as well.
Who else have we seen this year? Oh, Massive Wagons, Baz surfing the crowd.
In his little inflatable
In his
boat,
little inflatable dinghy. That was fucking
was
great.
Good. Yeah, that was up there.
Shit, I genuinely can't remember who we've seen this year.
If you just bear with me and ignore this paper turning. These are the gigs that we've been to. Wednesday 13. How the fuck did we forget Wednesday 13?
South of Salem supported.
Exactly, along with Sick and Beautiful and Tara Who. But for me, that's the best Wednesday I've seen for a long time because it was actual old school Wednesday as opposed to the more recent last couple of albums Wednesday where he's been changing the vibe and he's been doing more theatrics.
It's not been the same.
Which I normally love, but it's not been Wednesday for me. That was like back to 2002 Wednesday for me.
And Tara Who were one of the best support bands we've seen this year as well.
Yeah.
I think that was just a good all-round mix. I think it just kind of like built you into Wednesday.
Yeah, I don't know if we've got a worst performance of the year, but I've got to give that to the Tube supporting Hollywood Vampires because, well, I said it on my review, but what the fuck was that?
I remember you getting really quite angry about that.
Not angry, but just like, what was that?
You were fucking livid.
I'd actually forgotten about it, and then I was actually talking about it like last week with the people I went with, and we were like, oh God, I'd put that trauma out of my brain.
You got a bit sick in your mouth.
Yeah, that was not good. But anywho, and then we saw quite a few Metal to the Masses, Heat semis final, and all of that, which were awesome.
They were all really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all of the Metal to the Masses bands, there might have been a few that maybe that weren't for us.
Yeah.
But each band put on a great show. And I think it's just a good competition. And you don't realise how many good local bands there are out there.
Exactly. And we think how many we saw just kind of Nottingham and Leicester. And then that's spread across the country.
Times that by how many venues they do, yeah.
It makes you really excited for new bands coming through every year now.
Surprise band of the year.
Surprise band of the year.
Is there anybody that you've gone, shit, I didn't realise you were this good?
I don't think there is, actually.
I've got two.
I've got high expectations. I know people are going to be good, if you know what I mean. Does that make sense?
Yes, I'm generally with you on that. However, surprises of the year for me were Florence Black.
Yeah, they were a surprise for you, to be fair.
Because I'd not listened to Florence Black, and you said to me from the start, you are really going to like these. And so, okay. We've been down this road before. We did it quite recently. I can't remember who the band was, but you told me about a band that you said I will absolutely love.
And you didn't.
And I listened to them and went, it's fucking terrible.
Yeah. That is me thinking I know you. Yeah.
But I watched Florence Black at Stone Festival this year, and they fucking blew my tits off. They were so good. They were one of my highlights this year. They were really, really strong. And then the other one for me was Raptures.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Raptures.
Because we didn't know who the support was.
We literally didn't know till we were halfway there, did we?
So we couldn't get any kind of like background listening done because we were kind of like, 20 minutes away from the venue?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we got the sat nav on. And it was a bit harder to prepare for that one, I think. And they came out and, just...
Even before they came out, when they came out to their little Whitney Raptures hybrid mix thing.
Just look at each other, what the fuck is going on now?
What? I'm not going to enjoy this. I had like a potential flashback to the Tubes, but they were awesome. They were fucking great. They were not like that at all. Yeah.
So Rapture's really amazing. Performance of the year for you?
Oh God.
Which band really stood out?
You put me on the spot here, aren't you? I don't know. It's too hard to pick. We've seen a lot. We have seen a hell of a lot. There are some big bands that I know that really stood out for me, and there are also some smaller bands that stood out for me. Yes. Do you want me to go first? Yeah. Okay. Bands that stood out for me. The Who. The H.U. Who. Yeah. We always cut into each other at the same time on that. We always do the same thing. I feel like that's a thing now. I feel like it was my thing and you're putting in. Charming. Yes, the H.U. Who. Saw them twice this year. Absolutely amazing Mongolian throat band that just really stand out. Empire State Bastard. Yeah, they were good.
Saw them twice this year. Again, incredible. And like we spoke a lot about this earlier, but yeah, they were really good. Therapy. Stone Dead.
That was good.
They were fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much of the vlog stuff got added in, but I was going absolutely apeshit, especially towards the end.
I think it was quite edited.
Was it quite edited?
Yeah.
It must be for people that obviously haven't seen the bits that were edited. Jen was kind of like pointing the camera at me, and I was screaming into it.
I think we both were, to be fair. I think maybe we'll do an outtake or something.
Maybe. But that was one of my favourites. Bring Me the Horizon headlining Download.
Yeah, that's up there for me.
They were the best headliner of that festival this year.
For a while.
Without a doubt. Yeah, actually, probably since, for me, Tool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who's headlined after Tool. Did Kiss headline after or before Tool?
After.
Oh, since Kiss then.
Although Kiss were more of a novelty thing, really. Do you know what I mean?
Kiss was a one-off, yeah.
Yeah, for us. Yeah, they were good because I thought they'd be good, but I didn't expect them to be that good. I think that was the thing.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like you knew they would be amazing, but you didn't think they'd be that amazing. They were just...
Yeah.
They took it up another level. They showed why they are a headline band now.
Yeah, definitely. I think we said that in the review, didn't we?
Yeah. Other ones for me, actually, thinking about it, Meshuggah.
They're on my list that I can't find, but they're in my head. Yeah, definitely Meshuggah. And I think Killswitch as well. That's the best I've seen Killswitch for
a long time,
ever, possibly.
Arguably, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's a fair point.
They were really good. And In Flames were really good for me.
Beyond Your Design.
I was going to say.
I'm going to put in there Beyond Your Design because that's another band that you know are going places.
And I think just the fact we've seen them grow through the Metal to the Masses to then see them at Bloodstock.
Yeah, we've seen them from like a small gathering of fans to right up to kind of like Bloodstock. That fan base is just growing and growing and growing. And it's good to see, might sound a bit cuntish, but, you know, to be in a kind of like ground level, as it were. It's like we've seen them from playing to not many people to suddenly they're packing stages out.
Yeah, definitely.
Anybody else that really stands out for you as a performance?
I'm sure there are, but can I remember? No.
Can you fuck?
Yes. I think we've already talked about gigs, haven't we? So we've mentioned some there already.
What do you mean, like wagons and...
Yeah, or just general, like we said about Gojira and their whole performance at Nottingham Arena and Wednesday 13.
I think the trouble is we've been to that many things this year. We've been really spoiled.
We have. We've been to so many, and obviously we're very grateful for that, but it makes it hard to remember unless you write down.
I would just like to say we have paid for most of things.
We have, yeah, to be fair, yeah.
Bar kind of like maybe like 4 festivals, we have paid for pretty much everything else.
Yeah, and the Metal to the Masses where we are, the heats are free and the semi-finals are free at the venue that we go to for Nottingham, so, you know, that's as it is.
So there's a top tip. If your venue's free, go to Metal to the Masses and watch the new up-and-coming bands that will, at some point, potentially play at Bloodstock.
Yeah, or even if they only charge, I think most places probably charge about £5 anyway for the heats. Yeah. And stuff like that.
It's still a bargain for the amount of bands you're going to see.
Yeah, support your local music scene, people. You're expecting me to say Ghost at Download, aren't you? I'm waiting for it.
No, I wasn't actually, but...
Okay. Oh, actually, speaking of Download, Placebo were good at Download.
Which makes me laugh. So remember the discussion we had about Placebo and me getting really annoyed that they were always on the list and all of this. I didn't watch Placebo.
You didn't, did you? I don't even know. I can't even remember why you didn't watch Placebo.
Because they clashed with somebody else. And my logic was, I've seen Placebo so many times. What is the point in watching Placebo as opposed to a band that I might not see again?
True, but they were good. Definitely best I've seen them. Actually, they were a really good when we saw them in 2016.
It was either that or I got really pissed and fell asleep.
I think it was the latter, if I'm totally honest.
Pissed and fell asleep?
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me. Yeah.
No, I feel like you were having a nap and you missed Disturbed because they were on after Disturbed. I think you were napping.
Okay, that was the case. Because I wanted to see Disturbed as well. I want to see Placebo, then Disturbed.
Disturbed were good, actually, yeah.
And I got quite hammered.
Yeah.
Which always happens.
Happy Saturday. But yeah, I think the fact that Placebo were better than I expected them to be, I was almost watching them for the sake of it because they were there and I'd got a gap between Disturbed and Creeper and they were there on the second stage. I'm like, oh, I'll watch them for a bit. And I didn't expect them to be as good as they were and I did not expect them to play Nancy Boy. So I think, yeah, that's what
was
made
that
them
the
better.
day I wasn't fully formed?
No, that was Thursday.
Oh, shit.
It might have been Wednesday. I can't remember.
Yeah.
There was a blurry start to download, wasn't there?
Very blurry.
We'll blame the phlegm shots because they were a surprise of the year. If we're talking about performance of the year, surprise of the year, phlegm shots. Watch the vlog if you don't know what we're talking about, but we made some homebrew shots.
I'm never doing that again. I'm telling you now. We're never doing shots at the festival because it's just fucking horrendous.
Not phlegm shots. They don't. In theory, drumstick shots should have been the best shots ever. But they were
consistency was just so bad.
Although they got runnier over the weather got hotter.
As the weather got warmer, it got better. But
they got better, but then they were just really potent.
Yeah. Which is probably what led to me missing Placebo.
Quite potentially. We'll have a different homebrew for download. I just feel download's the place to have homebrew.
Yeah.
Shots, because planes and stuff and dilly and all of that. Giant Names, they were a surprise.
They were a fucking surprise this year, yeah.
Are we talking about surprise?
We're not, no. Oh. It's like you've backtracked, but it's fine.
Yeah, giant names. Any names were a surprise, I guess.
Worst album of the year.
Worst? Oh, there was one that we reviewed and we both agreed it was bad and I can't remember what it was. To be honest, normally if I listen to an album and I think it's bad, I don't talk about it that much. But there was definitely one that we both agreed wasn't good. What was it?
Was it potentially Theory of a Dead Man?
Yeah, it was.
And their album release, Dinosaur.
Yeah, there's about 2 tracks.
Fucking terrible.
And I feel like it started out really well with 2 tracks.
It did.
That we both went
First
awesome.
2 tracks went, this is actually, I like this. I like this.
It went to shit and I can't remember why.
It was just whiny. It was just bullshit.
Yeah.
It was one of the worst albums I've ever listened to.
I didn't like it.
I've got that one.
Oh, I know what you've got.
Have you looked at my notes? Or?
No. I remember one in particular you absolutely slating.
Yeah. Neon Noir by Vil Velo.
I can't remember what your classic quote for that was either.
I think my quote was, if you like Vil Velo, you'll like it. If you don't, you'll fucking hate it.
No, I'm sure there was something to do with nailing balls and...
Oh, I'd sooner nail my foreskin to the table.
Something
or
like
testicles
that.
to the... Yeah, something like that. Yeah, worst album, one of the worst albums I've ever listened to.
And you didn't go and see him live either. Wasn't a solo gig for me, but it was a gig without you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you went with a friend, didn't you? Yeah. I've got no intention of seeing that shit. What would you say are the most overrated band of the year? Because I've got 3 fucking major contenders for this.
Really? Overrated band? Are they... See, the thing for me on this one, are they overrated or are they just not to my taste? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Because you'll know that I'm not a massive fan of Sleep Token and everybody loves them. And that is Kev pouring some wine.
Yeah.
Are they overrated? I don't know. Maybe in my opinion they are because I just don't get it and they're just not to my taste. And I've tried. I have tried to listen to them. I have seen them live and all of that. But I don't know if they're overrated or just not for me. Because there are certain bands that I just don't get on with and I can't explain why. But it doesn't necessarily mean they're overrated.
Okay, so on that note, they're also one of my overrated bands of the year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You like them more than me?
I do like them.
Oh, okay.
So I like Sleep Token. And the thing with Sleep Token is they're very hit and miss into what they produce. So some of the stuff that they've knocked out is incredible. And I'm obsessed with it. The other stuff is not as good. But I feel that everybody's kind of like took the wind, basically took all of the excitement from the stuff they'd originally put out and basically gone, everything since then is amazing. And it's not.
Yeah, it's kind of overhyped.
Everything, yeah, exactly. Everything's overhyped since. And we've done single reviews for Sleep Token.
Yeah, we've done like first listen reviews, haven't
First listen reviews. And there's been things that I've gone, this is groundbreaking, this is great, this is new, this is fresh, this is what we need. And then there's been other ones where I've gone, what the fuck is this? I don't get it.
I remember
really
one
don't
in
get it.
particular we did a live listen to. We were both like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I mean, I think they do the laziest fucking videos on earth.
Yeah.
They'll just bone idle. They probably cost a shitload of money and they are fucking pathetic. But some of the music they do is amazing. And it's not always conveyed through an album, though. So through an album, it's like, it's patchy.
Yeah, I get that. I guess another one as well for me then, and not necessarily overrated, but loads of people love Bad Omens, and I've tried to listen to them, and they're not for me. I'm going to try again because they're at download next year, but yeah, they've just not clicked with me.
I've not really given them a listen, so I'm not going to either slate or praise them yet.
I'm not slating them, I'm just saying they're not my taste. You can't like everyone, can you?
No. It'd be a bit boring if you did.
Exactly. I know there's probably a load of people going
ape shit right now
about that, and I have a similar opinion about Ghost, you know. Each to your own. I love Scooby-Doo metal, what can I say? Another
band that have been overrated this year. So this is a band I've loved since I'm going to say about 1986, 87, somewhere around there. 87 plus, actually. When I first got into metal. But it's a band that have put an album out that's okay, but it's nowhere near what I expect. Which is Metallica.
Oh, yeah.
So overrated. But that is purely off the back of them getting new fans through
Stranger Things.
So they released 72 seasons, which turned into just like... It was almost like Metallica trying to be old Metallica and then appeal to the kids.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, Lux Eterna, I absolutely adored as they released that as the first single. I thought the whole album was going to be like that. And then you've got like 8-10 minute tracks or whatever. And it's just like, no, you'd stop it.
Yeah, exactly.
Which our review wasn't it? You don't need to prove that
you don't need to prove that you can play this music. We know. You are Metallica. We fucking know this, you pricks.
Yeah.
Stop it.
And I guess similarly, Slipknot, in that we weren't massive fans of their new album.
I forgot how bad that was, actually.
There was a couple of tracks that I liked, but on a whole, it just didn't really do it for me.
It was average.
Yeah.
It was almost like... But what they both got in common is they were harking back to previous glory.
Yeah.
In that they tried to replicate the sound of certain albums, but didn't pull it off because as a band, they were at a different place to where they were 30 years ago for Metallica, or 20 years ago for Slipknot. They're in a different place altogether, and it just doesn't capture what was great about those albums.
Yeah, it's just trying to recreate it.
It's just trying to recreate it, yeah.
Almost like being a cover band of yourself.
Yeah, a parody.
But with new tracks as opposed to actually covering, if you know what I mean. Probably not explaining that very well.
Another overhyped band of the year for me is Electric Callboy.
They're an acquired taste, aren't they?
Get in the bin.
I don't
do you know what? We should have a segment called Get in the Bin. Where we just go, who's big right now that we really don't like? Electric Callboy, Get in the Bin.
Yeah. Bin it together. Massive Wagons have already done that.
Wagons done it. Yeah, we're fucked on there.
For me, Electric Callboy, I've got to be in a mood to listen to them. In particular, I feel like for me, they're a gym band. So I love listening to them when I'm at the gym. They've got that oomph that gets you going and, you know, a bit of a bop. And I like a bit of techno, rock, metal kind of infusion. Didn't watch them at Download because they clash with Ghost. I can see why people love them. I don't know if I'd want to watch them live because I feel like wherever they play, it's going to be dead busy and sold out and sweaty and just, you know what I mean. But I don't mind them. But they've also got that kind of Eurovision vibe that I love. So I can see why you don't like them.
Which I fucking detest. So I'd call them a 25-pint band.
You've got to watch 25 pint. No, you don't want. Imagine watching 25 pints. Drinking 25 pints to watch them. Is that what you mean?
Well, yeah. So you know kind of like my cut-off.
Yeah.
It's like once I get to about 18, that's kind of like, that is like I need to stop drinking like once I get to 18, 19 pints. Electric Callboy, my 25-pint band, because I get to 25 pints and then I just think, just kill me. It's like, I can't stop vomiting. Just kill me. Kill me right now. This is fucking horrible. Why have I done this to myself? That is what I feel about Electric Callboy. They're a 25-pint band.
Okay, fair enough.
Overrated album of the year.
Again, I would say Metallica.
Yes.
And
72 seasons, bag of shit.
it was one of those where, again, we reviewed it. If you listen to the review, you'll know that we said it's got its moments, but overall it's much. And I just kind of left it there and didn't really think any more about it. But then I've seen so many people put it in their top albums of the year, and I'm like, why there are so many more better albums that have been released this year? Really?
We've named multiple albums already.
Yeah,
that
and that's
better than
just
that,
off
yeah.
the top of my head. Once.
No real thinking behind it. It's like, what have we listened to more? What have we enjoyed more?
Yeah.
It's not Metallica. I'm sorry for everybody that loves Metallica, but they're not that good anymore.
And bear in mind, we are Metallica fans. We're not just like anti-Metallica.
Yeah. Like we said, it's like we've both been listening to Metallica for well over 25 years each.
Yeah. I mean, some of it was really good to hear live at Download. I'm not going to deny that. But as an album, it's just not something I would go back to, personally.
And another one for me, as we said, like in the last bit, is the Sleep Token album. Taking Back to Eden.
Okay. Yeah.
Very overrated. Half of the songs, don't get me wrong, it's like half the songs are unbelievable. Half of them, meh.
Yeah, I don't know if I've even listened to it as a whole album.
Have you not?
I don't know. Because I've listened to other bits and bobs as they've released it and all of that. I don't know if I've actually sat through the whole album.
It's got moments.
Yeah.
But it's the same as the Metallica album. It's got moments of brilliance. And then you go, that bit's not so good. And it feels like there are more moments where it's not the album you want it to be. And it just kind of like overshadows the good stuff that they've put on it.
Mm.
I think that's the problem. Everybody bangs on about how great it is, but it's not.
Yeah, and I think as well, they're one of those bands that do people just like them because everyone likes them?
Is it a generational thing?
Yeah, it could be. We're old.
We're old, yeah.
But do you know what I mean? And
we are old, but how many bands are we into that are new?
A lot, actually.
The most people aren't.
Yeah.
So, like, we could name hundreds of bands that we're really into right now.
I feel like as well, it's one of those things where because everybody likes them, my brain just goes, nah.
Like we did with Dexter.
Although we love Dexter.
We do now.
And other TV programmes.
After up to series 4.
Yeah.
4 was the peak, I think.
Yeah. It's like a genuine condition. Like people are forcing you to want to listen to something or watch something. So you go, no.
No, won't do it.
No, do it.
Aisha, I don't think that is the case because we listen to stuff because anything that's released, we
do listen
kind
to
of
it,
have
actually.
to listen to stuff. So I don't think that applies to us.
Probably not with music, maybe more with TV shows or
with
stuff.
TV shows, yeah.
Or maybe like having your hair permed in the 90s. Everyone had their hair permed and I was like, no.
Never did.
I'm not going to have my hair permed, girls.
I never went into a scouser mode.
Didn't. I was probably like the only girl in my class who didn't have a perm. Because I'm like, no, everyone's doing it. I'm not. That is a complete digression.
Anyway.
So we're comparing
Wow.
Sleep Token.
Back to Jem's fucking lifestyle guru choices.
Yeah. Never had a perm in my life. Many dubious colours in my hair, but never a perm.
I'll be honest, same.
Yeah. I think I've got more dubious than you.
Don't know.
More longevity of dubious.
Longevity, yes.
For about
dubious, no.
Yeah. 30 years worth of various dyes, including food colouring.
Various greens, yellows, reds, oranges, blues, shades of blue, shades of green, shades of yellows.
Yeah, but we digress.
That went very far from overrated album of the year.
To not get any hair permed.
Permed.
I can't even say it. Hair permed in the 90s. Yeah. Do you have a merch item of the year? I don't know that I do. I just thought I'd ask because you've been asking most of the questions.
I've asked all the questions.
You have, yeah. Merch item of the year.
I know what mine is, but I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do with it.
What?
It's the weird memory card thing that I've got on the Smile album that you bought.
Oh, it came with like a little USB card, didn't it?
Yeah, but it's not actually a real USB. It's weird.
It just came with it. I mean, I didn't pick it because it came with that. That was just there.
The important thing is it's a beautiful signed beer, but it's a beautiful signed Skindred album. Actually, my total fanboy moment of the year.
Yeah.
Meeting Benji again.
Again, yeah.
Yeah. Apologies, Benji. like he listens. But apologies, Benji. So when I was at Glastonbury, I saw Benji with his wife enjoying the moment of being at Glastonbury, enjoying the scene, and then me being this total fanboy and walking past him and going, "Oh, Benji, that was Benji." Shit, glancing round as you do.
Yeah, we need some visuals here because it's literally.
So I've just realised it's like I'm doing visuals, but
a bit like
it's
that.
a podcast. You're not getting the visuals.
No, because we're an audio-only podcast at the moment. But he looks a bit like that dog that's doing the rounds on TikTok.
I've no idea what the fuck that means.
Oh, if you know, you know. Anywho.
I was really patient because I didn't want to interrupt a moment. Does that make sense? It's like I was trying to be considerate, didn't want to interrupt a moment, waited for a point where they were both just kind of like idly chatting, not doing something. And then I didn't even ask for a picture because like we've met Benji a couple of times before.
Yeah.
I was trying to be as hospitable as it could be, being quite drunk, and then going up to Benji and his wife and saying, you know, really looking forward to seeing you later. Can't wait for the show. You know, the usual kind of things that you'd say to somebody that you're a fan of the band. Benji was very receptive, appreciative, and his wife was so kind of like lovely. She just kind of looked at me and, oh Lord. And it wasn't until after the incident I'd realised that I got like a Skindred t-shirt on, which I think is acceptable. However, I'd also got the biggest fucking Benji sunglasses on with all the spikes coming off and looked just like a total fanboy. But it wasn't until later, it's like, oh, you cunt. Hung my head in shame and just like, oh no.
Oh, I'm sure you appreciated it.
Do you know what? I think his wife appreciated it more because, like obviously Benji's used to seeing everybody turning up in this kind of shit, but I think his wife was kind of like, well, this is the biggest UK festival, and this prick has turned up in like replicas of your glasses. He's got your tour t-shirt on. So he's obviously seen you before. He's a big fan. It's the last tour t-shirt, and he's got your glasses. And yeah, that was my biggest kind of like twat stroke fanboy moment.
Yeah,
I think it's fair to say.
I don't think I've got anything to compete with that in terms of a fangirl moment, to be honest.
Or twat moment.
Or a twat moment. I mean, I did fangirl a bit when I saw Combi Christ in the press room at Uprising, but they were just sat being interviewed, and I was just like, oh, okay, we'll leave them to that. I don't think there was anything else.
Hindsight, we should have jumped in.
Well,
at some point.
To be fair, it was our first press experience, wasn't it? And we were all a bit rabbit in headlights, kind of like, oh, we don't really know what's going on, what we're doing, what we're even doing here, to be fair.
How the fuck did this happen?
What was Dan thinking inviting us along? It was like, we don't know where we're supposed to be, what we're doing, but anyway.
We were polite.
We were polite. We left people to it. Next time, maybe not so.
Oh, shit.
You've just got red wine on the desk.
Yeah.
Wipe it.
Emergency tissue.
I think as well, just in terms of some of the bands that we've had on, obviously we've had a lot of bands and they've all been awesome, but a couple that stand out just because we're massive long-term fans, I guess, of these fans more so than the smaller bands that we've generally come across this year that we've had on. Obviously, Baz from Massive Wagons, we've been Wagons fans for a
Absolute
long
legend.
time.
Yeah.
So the fact that we were chatting to Baz from his kitchen on our laptop just blew my mind.
Well, it was on his iPad and he couldn't work it.
It was sideways to start with, but that was great. And also these Wicked Rivers, who we loved from Stone Dead last year, and then got to chat to them in person at Derby Alt Fest as well. So
yeah,
they're particular standouts.
We should say highlights of the year.
Yeah, those two definitely.
Those two, Baz, John and Aaron, Wicked Rivers. Because I don't think we thought we'd get them.
No, it's one of those where we just thought, oh, you know, why not?
We'll try. What's the worst that can happen?
Exactly. I think that's our theory.
I'm also going to put Adam in that group as well.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think we'd sit down and talk to the festival, one of the festival directors of Bloodstock.
Yeah, that's true.
That actually blows my mind a little bit. And what I'd also like to say is that every single band, kind of like band or everybody we've talked to this year have been so nice, so appreciative with the time. They've kind of like, they've worked around us as well. And it's been so nice to talk to people.
Yeah, definitely. And like we said, we never expected to have this many interviews this year because we never really set out as an interviewing podcast as such.
We weren't we?
I think we did a couple in our first kind of year, and then we set out this year hoping to do maybe one festival as press, and maybe do a few interviews around that. And we've done way more than we expected.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. I think, was it 4 as press?
4 festivals as press, and like I said, we've not counted up how many interviews, but there's been quite a few. And yeah, it's just been great to chat to bands and see that side of things and hear about everything.
Just a different, it's the other side, isn't it?
Yeah. Very grateful for all of that.
Absolutely. I've stolen your word.
Absolutely. Yeah. Have we got anything else to say that we need to...
Do you need to say anything?
I think we've pretty much covered. Just to say, again, thank you to everyone who's listened to us this year, all the new people that have found us this year that are still listening to us. And this is potentially one of our longest episodes ever. So if you've stayed with us, thank you.
I'm a bottle and a half wine deep now. Plus a few Jaegers, plus...
I'm a mulled wine bottle and... accompanying spirits, because that's the way to do it, glog style. So yeah, we're a bit merry, but in a nice way, because it's Christmas and all of that. I can't remember what we were saying. Were we wrapping things up to say?
Yeah, you were going to wrap things up.
Thank you as a whole for the whole year, for everyone who's listened to us. Thank you for all the opportunities that we've had this year. Shout out to the other podcasts that we've also spoken to, because we've been.
Do you know what? We've told it right. That. Hang on. That's another section. We're not finished yet.
We're not done yet.
Big thank you to Dear Download,
because we've been on there once this year. We went on last year as well, but they've just released their kind of end of year review, and they chatted to us and a lot of other awesome creators about their year in review as well.
A big thank you to Nevermind Polly.
Shout out to Matt for... We went on his podcast. He came on to us last year, so we kind of reciprocated that.
And it's been good to be on both.
And it's been great to see other podcasts growing this year as well.
Yeah.
So that's been really cool. So yeah, shout out to those two in particular. Is there anything else that we've forgotten? Quite probably. Shout out to all the mac and cheese stalls that have kept us fed this year.
Yes.
And other festival foods, because there's been a lot of cheesy chips.
Anybody that serves me lamb. Oh, yes.
Have you ever had lamb at a festival?
Yeah. I did at the Greek place.
What's that lamb?
Download, yeah.
Okay.
So I went back and then got quite upset because they only got chicken left.
Oh, okay. Yeah, shout out to any cheesy chip sellers for keeping us fed.
And the biggest thank you is for me to everybody else that's listened, is listening. Just thank you.
Yes, thank you again. And we will say here's to next year, but we're going to do a whole other episode about what we've got planned for next year and what we're looking forward to, which I think we're hoping to get out on New Year's Day. Don't quote us on that.
Ooh.
So yeah, I think that is pretty much everything we wanted to cover this year. It's been a good one generally for the podcast. Onwards and upwards and all of that. So yeah, I suppose the only thing left to say is the usual ending of the podcast, which is don't forget to go check us out on social media. We're on Instagram, Threads and Twitter, or X if you're modern, at Ready to Mosh Cast. And we're on TikTok, Facebook and YouTube at Ready to Mosh. You can find various things that we spoke about in this episode over previous episodes on our back catalogue of podcasts. Various vlogs from all the festivals and some of the gigs that we went to on the YouTube. Obviously all pictures and random crap on TikTok,
the
Instagram. The
YouTube.
Channel Uncle Bryn there. The YouTube.
I've been seeing things on the YouTube.
The YouTube. Yeah, so you know where to find us, and if you're not following us already, please go and give us a follow, a like, a share, and as always, please leave us a lovely review, 5-star rating and all of that, wherever you're casting your pods, and we will be back sometime soon, possibly on Christmas Day, I think, for what we've got planned. Yeah. Thank you for listening.
We're back Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh,
And on that,
on that drunken bombshell.
yeah, thank you again. Make it more schmoog.